Hey everybody, I'm Basically Brandon, and here I have
the Muffin Man. It's kind of hard not to be excited with the movie review that we're doing today.
Oh my goodness, we have just seen one of the best movies ever. Greatest Marvel movie ever, one of the best.
Of all time.
Let's start talking about this, man, shall we?
Let's do this. We got the honor and the privilege last weekend in the 3D to see Captain America's Civil War.
3D was so much better.
Oh man, my heart was just racing. I was excited going into this movie. I was at work and like, it's the night, it's the night, it's the night.
I was getting off of work. I was really stressed out. I didn't even think I was going to make it to this movie, but I was like, no, I'm making it to this movie. I don't care what I got to do. I was working my butt off. Don't matter. Anyways, I made it there, and that's what counts.
Yes, and we were very glad that we got to make it to that movie and that we got to go and see it. We wanted to we wanted to review tongue-tied. See, I'm very excited for this movie, so we're gonna start right now. Right now.
All right, so one thing I want to say about this movie is it wasn't a crowded movie. I enjoyed every little part that everybody had. They portrayed roles of, you know, even the little people. I mean, people like Vision and people like, I don't know, Scarlet Witch maybe?
Scarlet Witch, yeah.
I don't know. She was kind of, they were off to the side, but they played a good enough role for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah, but you know, one thing that was actually really cool that I liked was the infamous scene that we've all seen on the trailer where they're at the airport and they're running this team and this team's fighting. And you know, it wasn't crowded. There's so many different heroes. This movie has 2 villains. And with all of those people, it just wasn't crowded. They led up and they built up, and then finally, when you had the frame of the puzzle built, they started working on the inside of that puzzle, and they started building it and started laying piece by piece. And before we knew it, we had a beautiful blockbuster movie unfold before our very eyes.
It was movie magic, man.
It was. And so, to speak of crying and all of that great stuff, this movie was very dramatic. This movie had a lot of drama involved, and I believe that drama is what made this movie so successful as it was.
It was key. It was key element.
You subscribe me on YouTube?
What? No? Did I?
Yes, it says that you unsubscribed to me on YouTube.
No, wait, no I didn't. Did I?
Basically, Brandon, not subscribed.
Oh, well, you see, I was going through my file, and there was just too much subscribers, and...
I thought you were my friend, man. That's it. I'm done with this video. I'm out of here.
Wait, it's a Muffin Man. I'll resubscribe you. Okay, that was
I'm just kidding, guys. But that's kind of how this movie was with the drama.
You got a lot of tension going between Tony Stark and, you know, and Captain Rogers. It's just... They're really good friends with each other, and you can definitely tell if you had a friend and you've been double crossed by a friend, you know, it doesn't even have to be a friend. It could be a family member. You will feel these kind of feelings in this movie for sure. I can't say enough good things about this movie. I mean, we thought about cons in this movie, and we couldn't think of one.
Yeah.
We had my wife, we had his brother. We were all just like, come on, guys, let's think about something bad to say. We couldn't.
At one point, we even like phoned a friend. And we were like, hey, and then like we couldn't even get anything from friends.
Yeah, really.
But you know, a lot of time you'll disagree with someone, and that's just to go back with that realistic. That's kind of what was in this movie. A lot of disagreement. You know, you had somebody that thought they were doing the right thing, but then somebody was like, no, that's not the right thing. You know, we should do this. Exactly. And that conflict played a key role in this movie. If you looked at the nutrition facts of this movie, you would see a whole lot of good stuff. But the most important thing that would stand out would be 100% comic relief. And now this comic relief is great. Almost every character in this movie has something funny to say.
Oh, for sure.
You know, there's one part that I really like, and involves Ant-Man. Yeah. And Ant-Man is in the big fight, and he tells Cap, he says, Cap, I need you to throw this small thing at this truck whenever I throw it. So he does, and it enlarges the truck. The truck hits War Machine, and it explodes.
Oh,
and then all of a sudden, Ant-Man's like, oh, my bad. I thought it was a water truck.
That was a water truck.
Like, it's funny. Obviously, Spider-Man was really funny. He had a lot of funny things to say.
Oh, man, Spider-Man. That web slinging kid, and also saying kid. I'm happy they went kid. You know, because when you think of Spider-Man, you think, hey, he's just a teenager and stuff like that. So but in this movie, he was really funny. He was acting like a teenager, like. It's like, oh, Mr. Stark, I want to do something, I want to impress you.
Yeah. Oh, man, I really like the part whenever he's, like, fighting, like you were saying, he's fighting the Winter Soldier and Falcon. And then they're just like, you're not supposed to talk in fights, right? And he's like, oh, my bad, Mr. Stark only give me, like, one job.
Yeah, I have to impress
him.
him.
I have plenty of free time. And then he hits him with the drone. And, again, this part's funny. So, Falcon hits him with the drone and knocks him out. And Bucky says, you couldn't have done that earlier. And the Falcon's like, I hate you. Like, that part's funny to me. I love it. It's great.
I feel like they took a number out of Tony Stark. I felt like, Marvel was like, this guy is funny. He's got something. Let's give some funniness to everybody. I think the crowd's loving this. I think we should just give this, this kind of funniness to everybody.
Yeah, and I think that was a shift that they took in this movie. Tony's usually the guy that's cracking jokes that's really funny, but this time around he's a little more serious. You can see you can kind of just see like the burdens that he carried and the conflict he was having inside of himself, and so that kind of just took away from his comic relief. But they made a great move by adding it to everyone. And last but not least, in comic relief, we're going to talk about Stan Lee's role in this movie. Now I'm always excited to see what Stan Lee's doing next, what his cameo appearance is. Stan the Man Lee. Is a FedEx man. Oh. And he comes with his package and he says, I have a package for Mr. Stank.
I am never letting that go. Oh, check please for Mr. Stank. Okay, so there's a really cool part with Black Panther, the Winter Soldier, and Captain America parkour.
Yes, I love that scene.
That is like one of the best scenes in this movie. Stuck to that origin of, he's fast, he's strong, and who is this Black Panther? It's like, he just pops out of nowhere. Where did he come from? Who knows? He's just, Black Panther. Okay. Let's just go for it. Let's start running. Let's start jumping. Let's start, dodging explosions and the cops and all that stuff. And it just turns out to be one of the best movies, one of the best parts in this movie.
That's right, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly.
You get to see a big change in Black Panther, that is. I mean, you get to see how at first he was fueled by vengeance, wanting to kill the Winter Soldier because for some reason he thinks he killed his father.
And it didn't help none by the newscast because they showed Bucky Barnes' picture.
Or Bucky.
Which turned out to be a diabolical plan.
A switch swap.
From Baron Zemo.
Ooh.
Speaking of newbies in this movies, one person that we did not mention yet, which we have like 17 times already, but is Spider-Man. Spider-Man happens to be my favorite because superhero of all time, because I like how realistic he is. He juggles real life with superhero life, and he's like everyday kid. I like so far, like whenever Tom Holland was casted for Spider-Man, I was like, really? Seriously, like Tom Holland of all people? Yeah. But I was totally like wrong. Like whenever I saw how well he was. See, one thing I like, basically, I like to see how they improve with Spider-Man.
They start from the, Tobey Maguire, which you needed a base to build, and then you went to, I didn't actually see the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but like as you said, are better.
Yes.
Which I will take your word for it. But then I got to see Tom Holland, and I was like, okay, he's 2 times better than Tobey Maguire, but he wasn't even shown. Tobey Maguire had 3 movies more than Tom Holland.
And this is his first appearance.
Just these scenes.
And like, even Tobey Maguire himself had actually like Instagrammed Tom Holland and commented on his performance of Spider-Man. And he had even told him that he was an awesome Spider-Man. So that's kind of like a big kudos, especially from being the new Spider-Man and like the old Spider-Man telling you that you did a great job at being Spider-Man. Like that's incredible. That's impressive. But like his role in the movie Like, he's so immature. Like, you can see that he's only been Spider-Man for 6 months, that they say in the movie. And so he's still brand new to his powers. So, you know, during this 6 months, you know, I'm pretty sure there's no villains around as of yet. So he's just still experimenting with these powers. He's still going to school. He's still doing all these things. He still lives with his aunt, which is progressing younger each series. Spidey was really funny. He was talking a lot in the fights. He made a lot of wisecracks. He was really good, and he proved me wrong. Whenever I think of Spider-Man, I don't think of somebody that's built. I don't think of somebody that's tall. I always think of the little small guy, the little short guy. And that's one thing that we discussed and that we talked about, was we like how Spider-Man looks out for the small people. One thing that this movie leads is like, what now? What's going to happen now? And this is what I think is going to happen. So at the end of the movie, there's a letter that's sent to Tony. Basically Cap saying that he surrenders his leadership, that Tony has control of the Avengers, and that Cap's going to be doing his own thing now. He's got his own things to worry about.
Yeah.
So we all know that Avengers Infinity Wars is going to be coming up in the near future, and Thanos is going to be the big bad guy. He's going to be collecting the gems, the Infinity Stones, and he's going to want to rule the world.
Big old bad
so
guy.
I think it's going to come to the point where the Avengers have to put aside everything that they've done, and they're going to have to come together. They're going to be forced to come together and work together to stop Thanos. So what I think is going to happen is Cap's going to be secluded, or he's going to be off somewhere, and they're going to be like, they're going to have to recruit him.
Okay.
Like, look, Cap, we need your help. You know, this is big bad guy, you know, we need your help. And he's gonna come back. That's what I think.
You think so?
I think so.
Alright.
What do you think?
Tribunal aux côtés de Volphonique. Oh 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 oh, ce n'est pas l'argent qui fait tourner la terre. Le love prend le dessus sur le budgétaire. Ce n'est pas l'argent qui fait tourner le monde, mais des...
What do you think?
My prediction on all that stuff, well, wow, you really got it on the money right there.
It's pity. It's pity.
After all this mumble jumbo happened between the team, it seemed like there might have been some animosity between, you know, Captain America and Iron Man. And, you know, Captain America seeing, you know, his parents die and stuff like that, it's a very traumatic time in his life to witness such crazy events happen. And you know, you can't quite get past certain things, just like brush it off like, oh, okay, it's fine, it was the past. No, there's going to be some animosity between them two. And you know, but it's going to have to come to a point where they have to, like you said, just throw things to the side and just be a team again.
Yeah.
You know, because let the past be in the past. There's always going to be a new villain. There's always going to be a new bad guy. If it's not going to be Thanos, it's going to be somebody else. So you got to get your stuff together and just start being a team again. Captain America Civil War. I have to say, this movie is basically 10 out of 10, guys. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
It was so beautiful.
It was beautiful. The Muffin Man, what was your
I
score?
was actually tearing up for real for some reason. Okay. This movie was amazing. This movie blew my mind. I was anticipating it all of my life, ever since
You were like 3 years old.
Yes, ever since I was 3 years old. No, I anticipated it from the moment I heard it announced, and the moment that I heard possibly that Spider-Man could be featured in it. I was like, oh snap, this is gonna be good. And then I watched it, and I thought it was amazing. So I am reviewing this movie with Basiclee Brandon, and I am rating this score after this commercial break. I'm joking. I will give it an 11 out of 10. That's right, you heard it from here. An 11 out of 10. I am breaking the system, and basically so I can upstep Brandon. But I am giving it an 11. An 11 out of 10. That's never happened ever, I'm sure, in Basiclee Brandon's entire reviewing career. But I am giving it an 11 out of 10. This movie has been amazing. I loved it so much. You can better believe that I'm going to buy it when it comes out on the DVD/Blu-ray combo pack.
Yes. Alright, everybody. I hope you liked our Civil War review. If you like this video, click that like button. Comment on the video if there was something that we didn't talk about that maybe you wanted to hear, you know, something like that. But with all that being said, I'm Basiclee Brandon.
This the Muffin Man saying keep it fresh, have a good day, and God bless.
That's basically it.